Hi everyone, Scott Schweiger back with another Tuesday tax tip. The last few weeks, I've focused mostly on changes to unemployment, the premium tax credit, all thanks to the American Rescue Plan. But this week, I want to talk about those wonderful little tax credits that you call kids. Yes, for 2021, there's changes to your child tax credit. They're good ones, I promise. And okay, so technically, this is also a change thanks to the American Rescue Plan, but let's just not talk about that, okay? So, what's changing? For 2021, and currently only 2021, here's what you need to know. 17-year-olds will qualify for the full child tax credit instead of the reduced dependent credit. The child tax credit is raised from $2,000 to $3,000 and $3,600 if your kid is under 6. There is a 2-tier phase-out threshold based on income. So if you phase out of Tier 1, you still get $2,000 for your child tax credit. If you phase out of Tier 2, sorry, you're out of luck. You get nada. The credit is now fully refundable, and previously there was an earnings floor, meaning you had to have so much earned income in order to be eligible for the credit. That's gone now. Everybody's eligible. And the IRS is required to pay at least half up front periodically between July and December. So this is mostly straightforward stuff, but that last one has a bit to unpack. And what about those phase-out thresholds? Let's start with the phase-outs. Both are fairly straightforward. You'll begin Tier 1 phase-out at $75,000 for single filers, $112,500 for head of household filers, and $150,000 for married filing joint. So if you phase out of this, you get rid of that kind of added boost. So you go down to $2,000 normal child tax credit. For Tier 2, that phase out starts at $400,000 for married filing joint and $200,000 for everybody else. And again, if you fully phase out here, you're out of luck. You get 0. Sorry. Now, the advance. This one gets a little bit more tricky. The American Rescue Plan requires half to be paid in advance, which could be a logistical nightmare. Any of you waiting on stimulus checks still know exactly what I'm talking about. The IRS will look at the previously filed tax return to calculate what they should forward you for your payments. And this could cause issues for, divorced parents who swap out claiming their kids, or people who have a change in income, like a drastic change in income. So there are issues just waiting to happen here. And the thought was that the IRS was going to send out monthly payments for these periodic payments. But by using the word periodic, it really opens it up for the IRS's discretion here. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on that one. And the last part about being fronted the money essentially for your tax credit is that if you're overpaid, you got to pay it back. Well, most people have to pay it back. If you're under certain thresholds, then you won't have to. But now, the IRS is supposedly going to have an online option similar to that Get My Payment tool they had for the stimulus checks. And this child tax credit tool is going to allow you to update your information. Hey, I'm going to make more money. Hey, I'm going to make less money. Hey, I'm not going to have a dependent this year because I'm swapping out with my ex. And that could be great. And technically, this is required by the law that they have this in place. But again, I go back to the stimulus check issues. Anyone who's had issues with the Get My Payment tool knows exactly how well or not well a hastily made app can work. So we gotta have to take it how it is and take it at face value and just stay tuned for what happens in the next few months. Oh, and all of this on top of tax season and the unemployment changes and premium tax credit changes. So just a few things going on in the tax world. So obviously how this tip is going to affect you will depend on your particular set of facts and circumstances, like do you have kids that you claim as dependents? What is your income level? Things of that nature. If you have a specific question, please reach out to a tax advisor or feel free to contact me. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and please join me next week for another Tuesday tax tip.